All right, we're live.
All right. All right, let's do this.
Or maybe not yet.
I'm going to refresh.
I really don't like being on the YouTube page. I guess there's a way to just be on the chat part of the YouTube page and have the video minimized.
Probably.
Every time I go live, I get an offer for YouTube TV. Free 2-week trial. Might have to take them up on it.
I'm actually I subscribe for right now, but I've been working sort of. I get up early, go to work, get home around 7:30.
Yeah.
And I've been the early. I'm like, hey, we got to go to bed. It's 10 p.m. already. That's not how I was a couple months ago or a month ago. All right, let's see. I keep on refreshing. Please. Okay, let's see. I keep on refreshing. Let me go back to the page. Are we on YouTube or am I blocked from YouTube? Let's see. Oh, live. There we go. Hey, Monkey's uncle, Brian Backhand, what up? Monkey's uncle said, we don't like watching you either. Okay. All right. Okay. Everyone's gonna have to forgive me, I swear, guys. I've been working long hours and I want to do the whole we've got the Ace Hole Awards, like we've got the winners because people voted, but I need to do the actual, posts. So yeah, give me a couple days. I don't want to let time pass by and but we do have the winners. And as you guys can see, I've got my templates, got my template right here. This is my template. There we go.
That's a sweet template there if I've ever seen one.
Don't steal it. This is my NFT. And yeah. Yeah, and these are past winners. Yeah, so.
And my mic got muted.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so you were saying you were sorry. Okay, just for you're still working on the Ace Hole Awards. Okay.
Yeah, I just need to do the post and
okay.
Yeah, but they're there. But the winners are there. There's nobody else voting.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
So yeah, you could post it maybe. What do you think? Next Wednesday for next evening, next Wednesday's.
You should post it on Super Bowl weekend.
Sports ball weekend.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I realized I was muted. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. But yeah, the YouTube. If you go to the YouTube page, it's like for us, it's like 10 to 15 seconds behind, and it also looks exactly like the Zoom. So it's kind of jarring, but I guess there's a way to like close the video and just look at the chat box or something. So Robbie's got the Ace Hall Awards coming up.
Yes.
So maybe like post it, and then we could also run through the winners.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, I just have to count them and do the post and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Like.
Okay, I'm gonna be right back.
All right.
Anyone want to talk about anything in particular today? I'm down.
We're throwing it out there for the masses.
Yeah. You know, we're a community here. Okay. We liked it before. Chris. Oh yeah. Yeah, we like it when Chris is muted.
Damn. The truth comes out when he steps away.
Yeah, no more recycling talk.
People are over it by now. They're like, we get it. You don't like it.
Yeah, we get it. You don't like the earth.
You wanted to see it. You want to see it die a slow and fiery death.
All right. Did you do your posts and all that, Robbie? All good?
Yeah, they're up.
All right, gentlemen, we all set?
Yeah, just about. Give me a sec.
All right.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Good evening, Endless Ranters. Welcome back for episode 93 of your Endless Ranters podcast. Thank you for watching, listening, subscribing. We really appreciate the support. My name is Chris, but I'm just one of your Endless Ranters hosts for this evening. We're joined by the one and only Robbie Spotlight. What up, Robbie?
What up, what up, what up?
Hey there. And there's Man with a Plan. It's producer Manny. What's going down, Mole Man?
Hello, everybody. Good to be here. Glad to be back. Hope y'all been great since last we hung out, since last we spun.
It's been 1 week since we spun. Yeah, hope everybody's had a good week. I meant to ask you, Manny, what's going on with the farm?
Oh,
The milk farm. Is everything kind of? Are you back to normal business yet?
Little by little, we've slowly rolled out a few different flavors of kefirs. The quarts of milk, gallons of milk, and heavy cream are back. So,
What's kefirs?
it's like a type of yogurt,
Oh, okay.
probiotic. It's good for your
Okay.
gut.
Gotcha.
All the stuff that Ace is always going on about. Get some kefir in your life.
The probiotics. Oh, okay. I think I've seen that. Or is that like a product that's just that company you work for, or is that a
No, a lot of different. It's our take on the kefir.
Okay. I think
It's a
I've seen
better.
that.
It's a better take, I should say.
Is it the kefir Sutherland?
I'm sorry, you cut out.
Is the kefir located in the Sutherland?
Shut up, Rob. Go to sleep.
Yeah, we put a bad joke filter on. Try to block that out. Sorry, ladies. The
it was really, he really put it through his paces there, man. It was like struggling.
Technologies isn't there yet, but we're working on it in the lab.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's we're coming back little by little. It feels good, selling more on a more consistent basis. More hours too. Fuck, man. More hours to work.
Okay. Speaking of more hours to work, we're going to be spinning with our two grumpy bastards brethren podcasters. I don't know when it's going to be out, but it's going to be tomorrow. We're supposed to hook up with them tomorrow afternoon, evening, and spin for a bit. So that'll be interesting. That's always fun catching up with those guys. Their podcast is Two Grumpy Bastards. It's everywhere, and it's with Coop and Russ.
Hey, should we spoil our listeners and let them know what we'll be discussing, or the theme of the episode, I should say? Well,
I think the first half they want to talk about some current event stuff, get us to weigh in on some things, and we'll probably talk about a few of those things tonight just to get ready. Get ready for battle. Just kidding. Pretty aligned with those guys. They're great guys to talk to. And then we're going to talk some science fiction. That's one thing we have majorly in common, if that's a word. Majorly.
I believe it is.
It is, yeah.
Bigly,
embiggened, and bold, embiggened.
Yeah.
We feel embiggened.
Shout out to the embiggened community.
So we're gonna be talking to them about science fiction, some like current shows. I know they talk about that stuff on their show sometimes. I don't know. I don't know if you guys. I know Robbie, you're a big fan. We're all big fans.
Oh yeah, I'm big. Mm-hmm. I know right now we're our time slot right now. We're competing against Boba Fett, the book of Boba Fett. So right now, I know some of our listeners are watching.
Or that gets released on Wednesday nights.
It does. So you guys can press pause on that on your
I'll tell you
Disney
what.
Plus.
Tell you what, man, that show. My son and I made it through like 2 episodes, and then we've started episode 3 like 4 times, and he's lights out in like 5 minutes. I don't know. I think he knows it too. It's like when he's ready to go to bed, he's just like, let's watch Boba Fett. I'm like, all right, let's try this. And he's out.
Okay. I will say it's not as good as The Mandalorian. I like The Mandalorian.
What does The Mandalorian have that Boba Fett's missing?
Well, this one, it's like there's a lot of
cute
flashbacks.
Little baby Yoda.
Yeah. Baby Yoda.
There's if there was like a just name any other Star Wars, like a miniature stormtrooper. Just like, if there was like a miniature Chewbacca.
Yeah.
In Boba Fett. I mean, everybody would be like, oh, I love Boba Fett. This is the greatest show ever.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they need a mini creature. That's the formula. I mean, I shouldn't say this stuff out loud.
No, you need to charge. I'm
going to write this idea down and mail it to you.
Yeah.
Because what I learned in all movies is that if you mail an idea, that's like it's like a patent or something.
As a former prosecutor, I know that for a fact.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
So
the legal field that was so I know that. Yeah. So yeah, Mandalorian. I think I prefer it, but we'll see. I think they're on episode 6 now, and I'm up to 4.
Ace Adam Carolla talks about like 80s shows and things that he would, thought there'd be a lot more of. Mm-hmm. And like he talks about, like for instance, like at Starsky and Hutch, they're always every car chase they go through a big stack of boxes on the street. But the box is always empty. What I thought about today, I don't know why. I think because maybe they were talking about pie on the latest Adam Carolla episode. I was like, I thought that there'd be a lot more like I thought I'd go to a lot more gala events in a suit and get into pie fights. Pie fights. I mean, because that happened a lot I think it may have happened one time. Yeah, but it seemed to happen a lot when I was a kid in movies.
Have either of you ever been involved in a
dignified pie fights?
No, never a food fight. Hopefully next time I go to a Golden Corral.
Oh yeah.
Like it happened a few days ago. I'll get into like a food fight. But no, what about you, man?
Humanity is just showing itself everywhere nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah, just like everything. I blame COVID. Just blame everything on COVID.
Fucking Obama.
Obama.
I mean, COVID.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the theme of our episode tonight too. Is kind of we're going to cover some strife. You know.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of strife. There's a lot of the news. Everything's crazy. I just saw a sad news thing where there was a party bus.
I'm already bummed out
and died. Yeah, that's that's sad. Like, I'm not doing a party bus anymore.
Okay, I didn't know you were
until the next Corolla drinks party. Then I'm gonna do it.
I didn't know you were gonna say someone died. So it's like
no, someone died. But yeah. Anyways,
alcohol poisoning, strangled by a stripper.
No, fell out of the bus. Yeah,
fell out of the then died. Didn't really die in the party bus.
No, you're right. You're right. Legally,
if you're the party bus driver, that is the way. That's how you want it going down.
Yeah.
Wait, was the bus in motion?
It wasn't. Okay, so the thing is it was.
This story's turning around, because it was like party bus, good, died, bad. Now, party bus is in motion.
Yeah, if you own the bus company, you might be happy that it happened in actual freeway. Anyway,
on the freeway.
It was in the freeway
at high speed. You mean so they don't? There's not like years of being in a coma. Expenses,
You know what? Monkey's uncle said, never ride in a 15-passenger van. They have the most fatalities of any vehicle. Oh man. Okay.
This makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
A year, like sense. Yeah, for the Corolla, bar crawl, and that's it. But anyway, I didn't mean to start off the show with the bummer news. But what about a pink Cadillac, Monkey's uncle? Yeah, let's do it. A stretch pink Cadillac limo with a hot tub in the back.
What were we even talking about? Something about pie.
Busy.
We were talking about pie fights.
We were talking about strife. Just bad bummer news, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Golden Corral.
Golden Corral.
Yeah. I'd love to see like a fight, like a food fight at Hooters. That's what I'd like to see.
I mean, there's not much food to be thrown aside from, a handful of appetizers.
Somebody's going to throw a bucket of, what's like in a snowball fight when you have a bucket of snowballs, you'd have a bucket of Coronas. Isn't that what they have like there?
Bucket of ranch dressing.
You'll be grabbing buckets of Coronas and running for cover.
I'd be afraid of
bottles of beer at each other.
Buffalo wing to my eyes. Hey, Quana.
That's true.
Shout out to Quana. What's up?
That is true. Yeah, you want to fight dirty if you get into a Hooters food fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get the hot wings out.
Yeah. Or what about the wings with the dust? What do you call it? The rub. The rub.
Yeah, like a dry. Yeah.
The dry rub. Remember, WWF back in the day where they would like the bad guy, the heel, would throw like dust in the eye of the other
pocket sand.
Yeah. What if they did that, but with Parmesan, garlic Parmesan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think it would do much, but all right.
Yeah.
Hey, actually, all this shenanigans. I've been meaning to ask you two questions that came up while I was driving around for work today. You're at a party and you put your drink down and you're talking to a friend, whatever. You go to reach for what you think is your drink. You accidentally take a swig of either bong water or someone's tobacco spit from chew.
Okay.
Which one of the two of those unfortunate would you accidentally take a drink of in this house?
I think I'd rather drink bong water, but I don't think I would make that mistake. I think I could make the mistake. More likely I'd make the mistake of, drinking a solo cup that, some fucker that dips,
right.
Put a paper towel into,
I would do the bong water. But I got used to watching, remember Arachnophobia? The movie?
Yeah.
There's a scene, I might have even said this in the show. The guy's eating popcorn and he's just watching whatever Jeopardy on TV. And then there's a big spider on the popcorn bowl and he just puts it in his mouth as he's watching. I always look at my food. I look at my food. I look at my drink. I don't want anything. No, I've
never seen that movie. I saw a movie when I was like 10 that I shouldn't have, about tarantulas taking over California. And it was devastating.
What movie was this?
Fucking scarred me. scarred me for life. I don't know. I mean, it was one of these made for television movies. You know, it may not have been. Maybe it was a theater release, and it was like on like an ABC Saturday night movie. I'll find it out. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, movie about tarantulas.
Well, Bruin Backhand says that happened to a friend of mine. He drank the ash water that people were putting their cigarettes out in.
Oh,
No.
that's awful.
Kingdom of the Spiders? No, that can't be it. Deadly Cargo, Kingdom of the Spiders.
Monkeys Uncle, yes. Arachnophobia.
I've never seen that one. I think that was more entertaining. Is that John Goodman, maybe?
Yeah, it was. He played the lovable exterminator.
Okay. He did. It was I forget the guy that was in Dumb and Dumber, right? He was the protagonist. Daniels, something Daniels.
Oh, Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels, yeah. No diarrhea in this movie, just spiders.
Just pure spiders.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's move it along.
Yeah, I can't find this movie, but I swear it exists. There was a movie about tarantulas that was horrible, and then there was the Killer Bees movies. There's a couple of those that really, really scarred me.
Oh, what about Killer? I just recently saw on Tubi because I've been watching. Hey, if you guys want to do like a commentary, I've been watching a lot of Tubi movies. Remember Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Never watched it, but I'm familiar with it.
I've seen it. Never watched it.
And then what about this one? Remember, I think it's an old Trauma movie. Trauma. What is it? Attack of the Killer Tomatoes or something like that. Remember that?
Remember seeing all the posters? I'd never seen it.
Yeah. And there's two movies at least. And there was a cartoon when I was a kid. Attack.
I remember I remember the cartoon the most, never the movie.
They even had they had action figures. Man,
I've never liked horror movies. I don't like them still, but
what is wrong with you, man?
Huh?
What is wrong with you?
I don't need that shit. Yeah.
Okay, Chris, what's the scariest movie you've ever seen? You.
The scariest movie I've ever seen is a movie called Warlock Moon. Okay, and you've probably never heard of it because it would be on like channel 60. It would be on like it'd be on. I don't even know.
Home video.
No, it'd be like on channel 67 UHF, in like 1984. But I think I did watch it as an adult, maybe in my 20s. I sought it out and found it to see if it was still, scary. And it was I thought it held up.
Dude.
Warlock Moon. I think it's probably made in the 70s.
I'm looking at it right now. 1973.
I don't know. I'd like someone to watch it and tell me if it's like bona fide scary movie.
I'll get back to you with my assessment next episode.
Okay. I'll check it out.
But no, I don't watch scary movies. But there were movies when I was a kid, like called The Blob.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that fucked me up when I watched it as a kid.
I don't think I watched it, but I think I remember like someone in the house was watching it and walking by, and the blob was going through like the vent, from like one room to the other through a vent. I'm like, oh, that doesn't. Yeah. But it did seem scary still because even
though it was moving as slow as molasses.
I guess the scariest thing when you see that is like, why are like you're scared because you're a kid and you're just like, man, why are the adults so stupid? You know what I mean? Like they're supposed to protect me and they can't go away from this blob. So maybe I was doing that math. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember there was also a remake of the Blob, which was called The Blob. It was like 1989. That was kind of creepy.
Yeah, they would have had to remake that.
There's going to be an elevated horror what does it take on that one? They're going to call it The Blog. And it's just about people just, being bored to death by people's blogs.
Yeah. Or like, The Pod.
Nah, I like The Blog better.
Rantings of Midwestern housewives.
Yeah.
But I guess, and then also you probably figured out like now they have CGI, they don't have to resort to like, all the materials we have to work with is this big blob of gel. Like they could just, we can make it get up off the ground. We can make it faster. whatever it is, the smoke.
Well,
Like the
Monkey's
smoke
uncle said
monster
that
in Lost.
the blob was cashing in on people's fears of nuclear weapons in the
Was that it?
1950s. Yeah, I don't know the
Okay.
origin of that movie, but the remake, I think it was like an alien, thing that came from outer space, of course.
I tell you what, man, we're just going off all these little mini tangents, but we're going to get to it. We're going to talk about Neil Young in a minute. But like the nuclear war thing, I remember when I was a kid, like I would sneak and watch TV late, but there wasn't much on, right? But I just wanted to watch TV, and it'd be like Nightline with Ted Koppel. This is 11:30 Eastern time. No one else is awake, and it would be like this. They play this program about nuclear war, and man, it freaked me out.
Yeah.
I watched too many things that freaked me out when I was like 10. Yeah. Bad time for me.
Oh, same. I watched, people still to this day say I'm scared of the dark, but I used to watch, the Freddy Krueger series. There was a Nightmare on Elm Street series, not just the movies. There was you know how when there's a popular movie, of course they got to turn it into a series. And, and I would watch when I had my own room, I would just turn on the TV and, watch it like in the dark and then turn it off when I would hear my parents approach the room. It would creep me out.
When I was a kid and I was becoming aware of the world, it was the height of the Cold War, or let's say it was probably like the peak before it started, melting, warming up, so this is like early 80s. They were playing these shows and they were like talking up the, what's going to happen if things kick off. So I remember growing up thinking like that's possible. But my mom's generation grew up with like the air raids and like jumping under their desks at school and that kind of thing.
Holy shit.
So it's like, I don't know. Anyway, I probably wasn't supposed to be watching that, because if I would have, my dad would have been like, this is stupid. This is just, them scaring everybody. But I don't know. Anyway, so.
Yep. Duck and cover.
Stop, drop, and roll, baby.
Oh, I grew, obviously, right. Stop, drop, and roll. The fire prep. But also I grew up in San Francisco. So, we grew up getting
Earthquake
ready.
prep.
Yeah. Earthquakes. Manny probably also, getting under our desk.
Because the desk is what's going to save us all.
Exactly.
Going to ride that desk off into the sunset.
Mm-hmm.
I could see how that could be. I mean, I could see how that could be really traumatic for kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's something like you just expect the ground you're on to just be there. Like, you can't expect your mother to love you anymore. You can't expect your parents to stay together, all that kind of stuff. You just expect the ground, the sidewalk, not to fucking like start
random single
violently shaking.
Up.
Yeah.
Look, speaking of the ground, you know what? I've never been I don't want to say I'm anti-science or anti-gravity, but remember back in school in science class, they would teach you that gravity, you're pushing down onto the earth. The gravity is pushing you down. But not only that, but the earth is pushing us up. I'm like, how's the earth pushing me up? It's just there. I could be sitting on the a bench outside it. It's not pushing anything. It's just sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't give me none of that pushing. I'll push you.
So wait, did your teacher essentially say that we're like the Earth's zits? We're just being pushed up from underneath, just like
that's right. Yeah.
Teacher was just like, Robbie, just go sit in the back for the rest of the class.
Us, we're just grinding up on each other. Me and the Earth. I'm just grinding up.
You can get your Game Boy out and go to the back corner.
Yeah. So,
or this is like college years.
I think it was. Yeah, my professor.
Intro to gravity.
Yeah.
Science. Anyway. All right. So yes, let's get into some science talk. We're not going to get any science talk, but Neil Young's he made a name for himself, or got himself back in the news cycle. Haven't heard from him in a long time. Yeah.
What's your favorite Neil Young song, Chris?
And I tell you what, I don't know that. I do know that I love Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
Okay.
Like that's kind of like, I don't know. That's just one of these, the Deja Vu CD by CSNY was like a staple for me growing up.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how I got it. You know what I mean? Like just friend gave it to me, traded, whatever. But love that CD. So I've actually been like humming and singing a lot more, like, you know, to myself, like Neil Young music, because that, you know, he was in that band. I guess I'm not really sure what his big. I mean, I'm sure I've heard him, but they don't roll off the, you know, roll up tip my tongue. His solo hits. I don't know. My whole thing with artists and their political opinions and moves and whatever you want to call it is, I just don't really care. Like, just artists. I mean, it's like, if you want to enjoy the world of entertainment, you just kind of have to, like, you know, compartmentalize those people. I don't know. Whether, and it's comedians too, you know, I mean, whatever. You just kind of have to be like, look, they're like, that's the field they're in is, you know, maybe kind of pushing the envelope a little bit, or they're there for making great music and you know, making you feel a beat, not for their you know, geopolitical opinions, you know. And it's like, everybody has them too. So it's like, you know, you talk to your friends, and your friend Joe Schmo or whatever is like, you know, they got opinions on these things too, and they're, you know, they're not any more qualified. You know, you're not just, you don't tell your friend like, oh, shut up and go back to, you know, whatever job they do, you know, go back to your cubicle, you know, like, so you know, but we tell Neil Young to shut up and go play music or whatever. I don't know.
You know, with your guitar,
I just give all these guys kind of a pass for the most part. Remember when the Grateful Dead, you know, that, you know, my favorite band, I got my shirt on tonight, but you know, like one of them, like Bobby Weir, he would, you know, he was like campaigning for Hillary and stuff like that. It's okay.
Wow.
I don't really take that stuff too seriously, because it's kind of absurd too. I mean, it is very absurd on the one big level where these artists they do business with a lot of business, you know, companies, you know, like Neil, like, you know, Spotify having Joe Rogan on, like Apple, like you're on Apple, you know, you got no problem on the Apple platform. You know, Apple's hands aren't, you know, they're not saints, but I guess they give money to the right charities or whatever. They say the right things about what they're trying to do with the world, but, you know, it's like, come on, how's an iPhone made? I don't know. That's kind of, you know, basic, but whatever. Anyway, it's just kind of absurd for them to, you know, decide, well, this platform's no good, but Apple's okay. They're on Amazon Prime, you know, Amazon. So they're all good with Jeff Bezos and all that, you know, but Spotify and Joe Rogan, that's the line. That's that right there. That's a threat too far. But so I don't really get too pissed at these guys. I do find the memes hilarious, you know, like people making fun of them, you know, that's just kind of part of the game for them. It was, there's going to be people mocking them. But I thought at one point, you know, like, well, he's just getting bashed everywhere, you know, not on social media, whatever. I thought, like, what's he probably doing right now? He's probably like out walking his dog somewhere, like somewhere picturesque, you know, not really worrying about what everybody's saying.
Yeah.
I don't really see how people, you know, would say it's like a money grab or something. It's like he's already sold half his catalog or whatever to some company, and I guess the company sold it to is, you know, their hands aren't clean, you know, they're not clean enough. So it's not like the guy needs money, you know. I don't know. Neil Young doesn't appear to me to be a real flashy guy. No. Like, he's not showing up on Letterman and like gold chains and a Ferrari and all that, you know. Just so I don't know what the threat is.
Yeah, he probably has a flip phone.
Maybe. And it's also like, if Neil Young doesn't want his music to be on there, I don't think he really thought that he was going to knock Joe Rogan off Spotify. He wrote some, you know, I skimmed it. He wrote some letter, you know, posted it to his Facebook group or whatever about his explanation. It seemed kind of reasonable a week later. Right. Like, but it first happens, you're like, fuck that. You know, like all the memes come out, people have knee jerk reactions. We'll get into that a little, you know, maybe a little bit, but, and then a week later, it's like when he explains it, he's just in long form. He explains it in over several paragraphs. It's like, oh, okay. You know, kind of like the Joe Rogan apology or whatever his statement was for 10 minutes. Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, well, that seemed pretty damn reasonable. Like, what do you call apology or whatever? I don't know.
I will say this about Joe Rogan. Isn't, like, some people call him anti-science, but Well, hasn't he like questioned like religion, and isn't like religion like quote unquote anti-science? So he's questioned so many different things. So I feel like, yeah, he does have people on his show, and hopefully he does what he said he's going to do. Is once he has one of these controversial guests, he's going to have someone to kind of maybe talk on the other side, refute it or whatever the next show or a couple days later. So I hopefully he does that. That way I get one point of view, then another point of view. I'm down to listen to both.
Yeah.
And then that's when we both make up our minds, or I don't know.
Also, well, I mean, he kind of gave in a little bit, but that's just what you got to do. I mean, you just, part of it's like, you just gonna try to make this crap go away.
Yeah.
For everybody, get on to something more important. But, it's like he has no obligation to have the counter guest. Spotify is open to everyone. My son has a new podcast. He's got like 3 episodes out on Spotify. I'll send it to you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, it's him and his buddy talking shit about like what very little they know about sports. It's awesome. It's awesome. They skim like 8 different leagues because they know so little about each one. But it's good. They're exploring it.
Maybe he can be on the Benchwarmers podcast and talk about
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Show how it's really done.
Yeah. Chris, I'm gonna man, I'll tell you this. All you people listening, I bet you none of you guys have met Neil Young, but guess who has met him? This guy right here.
Probably pointing to himself.
To me, yeah. I met him maybe I don't know, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I was working front desk.
Sellout.
I was working front desk at front desk security, and then he actually came in for a meeting in San Francisco, and I was like, oh, I know who this old guy is, but I swear I'm not even kidding you. Yeah, since I want to be like respectful, like one time I met MC Hammer because he also came in. I wanted to call him Mr. Hammer, and when Neil Young came in, I was this close. I was not kidding you. I was going to call him Mr. Diamond. But I'm like, I'm glad. I'm like, it's not Diamond. It's not Diamond. It's not Diamond.
No, it's Neil Sedaka and Neil Diamond.
Yeah.
Those guys, and Neil Young. Yeah. He's off in his own.
Yeah. So and he was, with me, I mean, he was just a friendly guy. He just walked in and he was probably like, hi, I'm here for a meeting or something. You know how he talks or sings. Yeah. And I checked him in and he went up to his meeting and that was it.
Yeah, personally, I disagree with him and whatever he was trying to do, whatever he's saying. I mean, I think it just boggles my mind that people have a problem with Joe Rogan's podcast. It really, really boggles my mind that people have a problem with free speech. Like, it's really, really insidious what's going on. But I don't know. But it also kind of boggles my mind that when I see people like, because the people on the right or the left does this, and like they dig up things, they dig up people's opinions from 30 years ago. Because Neil Young had some choice things to say about gay folks and AIDS in the 80s, apparently.
Yeah,
and potatoes.
They dig that shit up, about everybody to destroy someone, and and the right would say, well, why would you, what does it matter what Rush Limbaugh said when he was 19 in college, and he's 45 today, and they justify it. And then it's like, well, then they just do the same shit to Neil Young. And it's like, oh, look what he said back then. Look what he did. Look what he said back then. Dig up like really old stuff. And it's like, pretty sure like you can't say like some of these things he said about that were pretty harsh. It's like, there's no way he's still on Spotify today if he hasn't already apologized for all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, come on, like, let's be realistic. If he had said he's sorry and like done a mea culpa for all of those remarks back then he would not be on Spotify. He would have been removed from Spotify, not by his own choice.
Well, it's just kind of like, it was a different time, different era and everything, different culture, I'm sure. Just like Cesar Chavez, Cesar Chavez, Latin American, Mexican hero and stuff like that. But he used to use the word wetback back in the day, back then. Right now, if anybody were to use that word, we'd get canceled. But I'm sure back then, maybe it meant maybe a little different to him or a different culture. I don't know. Or maybe he kind of made up for some of the words that he did by
I think racial or ethnic groups kind of always been able to, you guys get to pick and choose what you call each other.
We do
yourselves. I mean, so that's fine.
Yeah. I call myself a beaner all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the mirror.
Well, yeah. Hey, listen, you.
Before you head out to work every day.
Yeah.
Listen, you.
Who's the sexiest beaner in town? Hey, you. Or Latinx, as Monkey's uncle says. Yeah, exactly.
That's what that's kind of the part that kind of like, it's like at the end of the day, he was like, I think in his explanation, the most rational part was like, I don't want to be on that platform with him on that platform. That's my choice. Okay. Like, and it's like, okay, well, it is your choice. Now you're off, and there we go. I don't know. Did it get put back on or I don't even know.
He was directing people to go check his music out on Amazon instead with a 6-month free trial.
Was he?
Yeah.
Was he really? I saw, oh shoot, I got another offer. I forget what it was. It was another music service. And it was, of course the thumbnail was a Neil Young album or Crosby, Stills and Young album, whatever, Nash and Young album. And it was for like a 3-month trial signing up. But I mean, they could do that with they just do it they could, put any band up there.
Well, it's funny on iTunes, Apple Music a couple of days ago. I was kind of scrolling, and it on the music page, it says, something Neil Young music. Great. And then I scrolled one little box down and it says, and we love Joni Mitchell too. I was like, oh, of course. Okay. So this is awesome. Whenever, if you check out iTunes, whenever there's a movie star that dies and stuff like that, immediately, why wouldn't you? Immediately they'll post their movies, like a list of the so-and-so collection, the day that, God forbid, Clint Eastwood dies, the Clint Eastwood collection, all movies, whatever, 99.99 each or something.
Yeah.
And they'll capitalize on it.
Yeah. I don't think he thought also, like we kind of like, we project these things on these events. Sometimes it's just purely the figments of our imaginations, that he wanted us to think that he was really sacrificing something and going to give up a lot of, it's like, I don't like, why would you think that? Like
Neil Young on the cross.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't really know the guy. So, I mean, maybe he is just a gigantic asshole. I don't know. It's like you got that kind of hair and you look a little crazy. People are, they'll believe a little bit more about you, but I don't know. I don't like the reactions where it's like just the both sides of the aisle, like the left and the right, just take turns with the same shitty tactics, just trying to cancel each other and then clutch their pearls and then act outraged and indignant that the other side would do that. And they just do the same stuff. And they all follow the same formula. So
they really do.
Shit's getting old.
There's not many differences, I feel, between like MSNBC and Fox News or CNN. It's like depending on who's a president, it's like everybody's outraged. And it's not me trying to be like, oh, I want to be safe. No, I have my opinions against, like I said, I've said it before. When Hillary was running with Trump, I had my opinions on Hillary and Trump. And then now the old guy, I've got opinions on all these geezers.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I'm not 50 yet.
Well, we keep doing these things that we get ourselves collectively into these horrible situations where we have to choose between two really bad choices. Like we do this to ourselves. Like we do it to ourselves, and we get ourselves in these situations every 4 years where it's just like, oh God, like, if we're honest, like, people don't really like Biden. I don't think most Trump voters really, have a, emotional bond with him or anything like that. It's just like, they really just hated the other person that much worse.
Just grinned and bearing.
Yeah.
For the time being.
It's like Biden doesn't, just be honest. I mean, that's fine. You hate Trump, you vote for Biden. I wouldn't, this stuff where he inspires you. I don't know about that, but like, whatever. Yeah, just terrible choices. Anyway, speaking of terrible choices,
Yeah, man.
Whoopi Goldberg,
Yeah.
her parents made a terrible choice
No.
60 years ago, or 60 years plus 9 months.
Yeah.
Dad
Oh,
made a
no,
It's a
terrible
wait.
stage
choice.
name.
Before you go on, this reminds me of a Simpsons episode. Well, one moment in a Simpsons episode where they're at a bottomless pit. I think I told this before, and the dude had a box they threw in there, and he's like, "I was a fool to think people would want naked photos of Whoopi Goldberg." And then he's just there, kind of dusting his hands. The box comes back up from the pit onto his hands, like, "What the?" Like even the pit didn't want it.
That's just mean spirited.
Yeah.
That sucks though. If you're the go-to for like, let me think of a hideous celebrity.
Oh man.
Let me think of a hideous celebrity that no one ever want to have sex with besides Ted Danson.
There we go. That was yeah.
That was a strange.
Well, that was another controversy. I mean, if you want to talk about
when he went in blackface and all that. Yeah.
All the crazy things that she wrote out for him to say or whatever the fuck.
You know what? I've seen that before, and I think I kind of like, yeah, it's really bizarre, right? It's like really, it's kind of like cringy, shocking, bizarre. Not, nothing to warrant, the death penalty or anything like that, but just like really like, like I know times were different back in the 80s, but they weren't that different. Anyway. Well, maybe there's just a lot of cocaine. Like they just had this idea when they were just fucking just going through piles of cocaine every night.
I can see that happening. Yeah. You think there was any of that involved this time around?
Oh, you think she was doing cocaine when she learned about the Holocaust back in grade school? And a few days ago on the show, maybe. Yeah. So what she said that the Holocaust was not about race. You think if she would have said it wasn't all about race, she would have saved herself a lot of grief. Just say, add one little qualifier word there, would have just saved herself a rough few days. She's been suspended. I don't know. I found myself defending Whoopi Goldberg on Twitter for a few moments a couple days ago. It was bizarre.
Well, yeah, you can defend people.
You?
Well, maybe not defend, but yeah, you can ask questions like, well, what if Whoopi this? Well, what if, I mean, I don't agree with anything that she said.
Oh yeah, she's horrendous, but it's like, I sort of like just had this like awakening recently where it's like, I realized like, why am I even seeing this stuff? And I realized that the only time I ever see The View is when a conservative like watchdog group shares it to me, like on Facebook or on Twitter, or it's like the Ben Shapiro's of the world, and they're Louder with Crowder guy, and like
Crowder.
All like everybody, like Newsbusters, like all these like are like putting the video out with their spin on it, quoting what they want to quote
for sure.
And I was like, okay, you know what? Actually, this time I'm going to watch it. It was like 1:45, and I don't know. I thought the totality of the conversation, she wasn't being anti-Semitic. She wasn't like denying the Holocaust in any way. I think she did make a factual error that it wasn't about race. To Hitler was about race because he thought of this Aryan race, that he kind of made up.
Yeah.
He made up a lot of stuff. But like when I saw the video, I Googled, the first thing I did was I Googled, are the Jewish people a race? Because I was like, I don't know that, and if people are honest, they're like, I don't think most people knew the answer to that, because I don't know if there is an answer. Because the first article was in New York at that time. If you Google it at that moment in time, like 3 days ago, the first article was like an older New York Times article, I think, that basically said, it's debated a lot, but debated in a way where it's like, it kind of doesn't matter. I mean, when you say a racist attack, I mean, it's kind of doesn't necessarily need to be someone of another race. I guess. I don't even know. Like, what makes a race is kind of very a lot of gray areas there.
Right.
So I was like, I'm just curious, like technically, like did what she said, was it incorrect? And I don't think it's technically incorrect. I think what she was trying to say in that moment was incorrect. But I don't know. It's like, anyway, it was just the moment. The fact that I was seeing it just from all these right ring groups or conservative groups, whatever you want to call them, like that, would normally be complaining when the left does that to people, like just like pounces on everything that Tucker Carlson says. They can take 8 words out of Tucker Carlson's hour-long ramblings, whatever, and that's the one they put before they show you a video, to show you that he's the devil. And it's like they just do the same thing to each other. It's like, it's kind of gross. And I thought, I would never see The View. I would never know what the fuck Whoopi Goldberg has to say about anything if it wasn't for some conservative group sharing it. There's no I guess I'm not really engaged with a lot of View fans, viewers of The View. I don't know if there are many, so I don't have a lot of friends that are like, hey, look at this awesome work by Whoopi. Yeah. It's like all like negative. So again, she's an easy punching bag. People throw around this idea that, she'd be calling for people's heads to be chopped off if it was the other way around. It's like, okay, well, what does that mean to you? Does that mean you should be calling for the same thing? It's like, come on.
I don't know. The View is horrible. And then unfortunately, The View spawned other shows like The Talk and The Real and a whole bunch of the thing I laugh about, and I sent it to you guys, is, or I think I did, or I posted it, is people will say things, horrible things. What she said was, like you said, I think it was wrong. It was incorrect. It was not correct. I'm glad she's being corrected. But it's not the first one. The one I laugh at a lot is, like I said, it doesn't offend me. It just the hypocrisy is when Kelly Osbourne was there and she was trying to state and show how racist Donald Trump was towards the Hispanic and Latino community. And then she herself said something racist when she said, I ask you, Mr. Trump, who's going to clean your toilets if all the Mexicans are gone? And then Rosie Perez was there. She's like, and then she's like, no, I mean, as in, you know what I mean?
I love it when people's real, I love when their real feelings kind of slip out a little bit.
Yeah, come on,
real thoughts. Like, not that she's, trying to start a race war against you guys or anything, but it's like just their real thoughts on like how you're viewed. Yeah. I mean, you can kind of be like all of us, like by a lot of these media personalities, they kind of like, you just listen to what they say, how they talk. I mean, they kind of like talk about people as if they're just
peasants.
Just like
modern day peasants,
or not even worse. Like we're just little data points. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like we're just all little data points.
Yeah.
And if you, if you kind of push some buttons over here and raise the tax on this over here, we can make these little data points kind of move into this direction. Mm-hmm. And if we, eliminate this tax, that we can kind of, and it's just like, they don't really see people as humans.
What I say is, don't use me to like, defend your, your position. Don't use me. Use you. I don't need to be thrown in there. I mean, I'm not Mexican, but I'm part of the community, but yeah, she played herself with that stupid comment. And as I think it was Monkey's uncle said, I think it was talking about Whoopi, it was incorrect, but it was not out of hatred or racism, I think, right? Or I don't know if it was Kelly, but yeah, some of these with I'm sure some people don't think about it before they start talking. They kind of sit down and kind of think about it, like, wait a minute. What I said was wrong, and now I'm being corrected, like I said.
I think that's the most like kind of common race of like these like stereotypes, and I don't even know if it's like, I don't know if that thought itself is as damaging as the thought that they like in her mind she doesn't even see the people as real. I don't know. It's like just like. You just, your group is just a stereotype. Like you're not 80 million, people in this group. You're just, your group is just a stereotype.
Yeah.
Like you're not seen as real people. Like, and you could say it's about like Hispanic folks, it's about Black folks, you could say about Asians or white married couples with 2 kids from age 30 to 45, whatever. I mean, it's just like they just categorize everybody. Anyway. Yeah, that's a good. I like it when people just kind of expose themselves right there like that.
Yeah. It's like, dude, you just said something racist, and you probably maybe didn't mean that way. Or you know how people say we all have, racism in us, or I'm sure all of us have said something racist, whether we meant it or not. So whether she meant it or not, it was in her, and she said it. So just take the criticism, take the education afterwards. And I think I think they, with Kelly, I think they schooled her. They were patient with her, which is good. I think she faced some backlash, but I don't think she got suspended, which is fine. But once she got, like I said, schooled and educated, I would have said, hey, Kelly, look, I can name these doctors and lawyers that are these, anybody can be whatever they, want. We're not all janitors, even though I know plenty of, Latino janitors, sure, but I've known other professionals. Not that there's nothing wrong with being a janitor, nothing, but that's not what we are.
I mean, aside from the thankless duties that the job comes with.
Yeah. Speaking of, it's also a new lunar year, right, Chris? Isn't it also Korean? Or is it just?
I think it's just the Chinese New Year.
No, or did I just cancel my?
You just canceled yourself.
No, I mean, I probably just means up.
No, it's February 1st.
I'm just breaking into my diary of Guatemalan jokes that I've been keeping, my journal.
No. Happy Korean Lunar Year.
Is that for real? I don't know. I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tuesday,
if
February 1st. So this week.
That's a Korean thing for real?
It's a Korean, it is a Korean thing.
Well, yeah, Chinese, Korean, I think a pretty big part of the Korean history is basically just kind of getting, bitch slapped back and forth between China and Japan. So, well, anyway, it's like, that there's a lot of influence. Yeah. There's a lot of influence on Korean culture from China. So. Well,
I like the barbecue.
Yeah, it's weird to think that they got like a whole like a billion people over there keeping their own calendar. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
like we turn the page and it's 2022, and they turn the page as the tiger symbol.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Every time you date a check over there, and you gotta like draw a tiger.
Well,
draw quickly.
Well, just like the Mayans, right? I don't know about the Aztecs or Mayans, but they had their calendar. I don't know if they have the year of the anything, but different cultures, different calendars. I guess.
They had the one year with the guy with the 2 big teeth and the tongue hanging out, but the tongue was going like an S shape. That's the only year I remember on that calendar.
Oh, what about Jewish? That they have, isn't like Rosh Hashanah? Like
for them it's like year 10, 20,000 or something. I don't know.
Something like that.
I'm just kidding. For them it's like year 5,000 something.
Okay.
No, I'm guessing. Just guessing that they're on a different year than us.
Yeah. Wild guess.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe someone can check us out. What year is it on the Jewish calendar? They have one.
I don't know.
It's very confusing. Now we're first we started off, we're not sure if Jewish people are their own race. It's debated. Now we're like, do they have their own calendar?
Yeah.
We're really getting to the bottom of things here.
Yeah. Just don't cancel us, Chris.
I remember. No, we're fine. Let me check. We're fine.
Yeah. Okay.
I remember like growing up in school, learning about the Holocaust, and it really, I guess I've been trying to think about it the last few days. Like, what did I learn? Like, what was I taught? Because there's something about the race thing that didn't like immediately like kick off in my head. Like, like I said, my natural reaction was like, I'm going to Google like this, like Jewish people a race.
Yeah.
Just curious. But obviously you taught ethnicity, like Aryan race, like there was, like that obviously Hitler had a lot of thoughts about like, race and blood and all these things, but also taught at the same time, like that was a lot of like just made up crazy stuff too. So But the ethnicity, religious thing, because there's a lot of that, a lot of like, Jews killed Jesus and all that kind of thing. A lot of that kind of thing going on in a very Christian society.
Sure.
Like that was an element back then. Like that was part of like kind of anti-Jewish or Jewish hatred back then. Socioeconomic was a big thing that was drilled into me in school about like how it was just kind of like Germany was struggling economically, and that kind of like helped Hitler because people were pissed off. Like, people were broke and he basically picked on the one community that was doing okay. Not immune from a bad economy or whatever, but a group that was doing okay. They seemed pretty happy. So it was like, I don't know. And like the race thing, I guess it was a big part of it because like the whole Aryan race thing. But I don't know, when she said that, it didn't really. I kind of maybe had a thought of what she was talking about, that it wasn't really. It was like where these maniacs use race or religion or what your hair is or your skin color. They use these things, as an excuse almost to just wage war, get power.
Didn't she also mention like it's not about race, it's more about the human condition or something, I'm like,
man's inhumanity of other man.
Yeah, which sure. Yeah, exactly. But it's also about race as well. Yeah.
But I mean, when she's pinging along though, that stream of thought, right?
Yeah.
That topic, it is a lot. It's more about like, and again, like I'm not defending Whoopi Goldberg, but like my mind was thinking about, yes, it's like, what's really curious to me about the Holocaust is how do you get so many people to do something so atrocious or ignore it while it's happening or pretend like it's not happening? Like, how do you get that to happen? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and you don't just get it to happen with one thing like race. You get that like, they're taking our jobs, they're like, they're in a conspiracy against us about, financial stuff, banking, you just start throwing all kinds of stuff at it.
Can I say this one thing that might piss off the the super anti-maskers and all that stuff? But can you please stop comparing the whole COVID masking thing to the Holocaust and the stars? The people that compare, don't do that. Like there was some places where they said, "Oh, the stars and the patch and all that stuff." It's not the same. It's not the same. I mean, it's,
the passport, yeah.
No, it's not the same. Obviously, it's not pleasant to be asked, "Hey, can we see your your COVID whatever or your vaccine thing pass or whatever?" It's not the same. So if with the people that say, "Oh, it's like like the Jews and like the Holocaust," no, it's not. It's not. Oh, they're gonna, no, it's not. It's not. It's not pleasant. Yeah, I get it. It's not pleasant, but it's not the same. Yeah.
Well, you know what? People use whatever political imagery they can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. Again, part of my reaction to it was also like this. I realized there's this machine. So like there's groups that all they do is left-wing groups that all they do is listen to Tucker Carlson. I mean, they watch Tucker Carlson. I think there was like a news article that like, like in like the key demo of like 18 to 35, like the most Democrats watch Tucker Carlson. It was something crazy.
Okay. Like
young, like he gets a lot of young Democrats watching his show. Somehow they know this stuff. So, but there are groups that like would watch Tucker and that's all they do is like quote him. And they just have a daily campaign of like people that tweet whatever to like fuck with Tucker Carlson. It's like a professional job. And that's now what they've become with The View, like on the other side, just like literally conservative dudes that are watching The View every minute and like watching everything they say. Like, oh boy, that's not good.
It's
I used to think make fun of like these lefties on Twitter that are like, I'm like, so you just watch Tucker, you like hate Tucker, but your job is to watch Tucker Carlson every night.
Yeah.
and like talk about him all the next day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'm just thinking the same thing about some of these other groups, these conservative groups that are like, your job is to watch The View and like fucking talk about clip videos and edit videos of Whoopi Goldberg saying insane things and sharing that. And that's your job now. Like, this is not good.
Chris, when you're talking about how, when it came to like Nazis and stuff, how do you get a large group of people to think this way and to follow? I'm sure there's studies, and I think there's documentaries, and it's all about, right. The one of the words I can think of is compliance, and they start, and I don't want to get into the whole mask thing, but because a lot of people, don't comply, whatever. That's a different subject, but I don't know. I don't know if it's like the fear or, oh, I have to do what they told me, and these large, I don't know. It's like this brainwashing thing.
You know what? I think it's not unfair or out of bounds to compare some of like Nazi Germany and all that. Like, I mean, it was a massive political movement is what it was. So you can't just not talk about it as a political movement, not all of them turn out to be, 6 million war atrocities. It's like, I don't know. You just gotta have to, I don't know.
Lost your train of thought there, Chris?
Well, it's just kind of hard to like, you kind of be careful what you say.
Mm-hmm.
You never know who's watching.
Well, I don't know. It's like, you got to be careful because, I don't know. No, yeah, maybe now I lost my train of thought.
That's all right. What was we're moving on after, what is it? Chinese New Year and Whoopi Goldberg.
Okay. So you're just talking about the comparisons and all the analogies. I mean, it's kind of weird. I was going to say, you got to remember, like, yeah, Hitler killed, a lot of Jewish people, of course.
Oh,
I'm sure his numbers weren't as bad, but it's like, he was real into killing all kinds of people that weren't Jewish too. Like, you could be a purebred German, but if you had like a deformed hand,
to the chambers for you.
They were experimenting. They were, like if you had a retarded child, they just exterminate those kids. So like, I don't know. It's kind of had this thought where we're letting Hitler define like what's a race, because he had this crazy Aryan race. So we're letting him define what this was all about.
Yeah.
It's like,
this was his true plan all along.
Like Monkey's uncle says, LGBT too. Yeah, just like the Nazis were very anti-gay. Well, just like Cuban Castro, right? And Che Guevara.
Yeah, I mean, you could be like a blue-eyed blonde German kid, but if you had like, if you just had like, form with like a monkey, if you had a monkey claw, you're out.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, this is like, it wasn't all racial. I'm gonna tell you, it was psychotic. It was crazy. It was, but yeah, a lot of people that weren't psychotic and crazy that went along with it. That's the part where it's like,
yeah.
Have we figured that part out yet? Have we figured that part out?
Well, you were saying like in school, right? What you learned and stuff. I do sort of remember reading about Anne Frank and a little bit of the Holocaust. And yeah, like you said, people going along with it. Like who would, snitch to the cops or whatever. Hey, there's a girl in the attic, or hey, they're hiding this and that. Yeah, that's freaking terrible. Yeah, I would think I would not do something like that. Hopefully never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, our reality is so strange now because, like people make references to the Nuremberg trials and like when you're technically or the vaccines or things, experiments being done. I don't know, like, or mandating things like that. Is that legal? I guess it's not legal as of right now, but
I've had discussions. once things get heated and elevated and people start getting all angry and stuff like that, I kind of tone it down with my friends or loved ones or whatever. But I'll play devil's advocate on both ends with the whole vaccines and all that stuff. Yeah, I had an employee who told me, I think I've mentioned him. He was heavy set, he morbidly obese, and he said, "Hey Rob, I just, or Roberto or whatever, I just feel like I don't feel comfortable like being forced into getting that vaccine because the job was talking about requiring it." So I told him, said, "Dude, I understand, and we'll see what happens. We'll see if there's any other options, but I understand." And this guy's a black guy, and in the black community, minority community, things happen possibly in the past, right? That hey, we don't trust it that much in the government or whatever. I don't know. Some people have some of those fears, so I understand them as well. So yeah.
There's like all these polls they do about all these attitudes about Biden and COVID and the mandates like that. It's like there's one little part of that where it's like, they pull black people on their trust in the CDC. It's like very bad, very, very bad. Yeah. Like when they kind of like break up the polls, like, how do you feel about Joe Biden? Like, then it's kind of like, that looks pretty good because most black people still like Joe Biden or would vote for him, but he's not looking so great in that community either. But like when they break up, like, how does the African-American community feel about the medical establishment and the CDC? Like it's very bad, like 80% negative or something. I don't know. It's crazy. Or it's like, or whatever it is, it's much higher than any other group in the country. So that hasn't really changed, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I learned something about the vaccines today that I had no idea. Like I've seen people like write about it on Twitter, but like that the two vaccines that have been fully approved by the FDA, they have like the official names like Comirnaty or like Spikevax or something, that those have been fully approved by the FDA, but they are 100% like reputable news sources, not in the United States. Like they've been fully approved by the FDA in the United States, but they're not actually here. If you go get vaccinated now, you're still getting the version of the vaccine that they say somewhere, like these are definitely two separate things. Like one is like legally distinct, or I don't know what they use, but and maybe they are just the same exact formula, but supposedly it's not. But yeah, you're still getting the one that was the vaccine that was approved for emergency use authorization, whatever, EUA. So I'd seen that shared, like, and I was like, oh, that can't be true. Like even that's too far, because they were like bragging about the FDA approvals, but then you think like they really haven't been talking about that. And then it's like you read articles, like a few more articles, and they're all like, oh yeah, they don't actually have it here. But so that's a fact, but they don't know why. Like there's some theories why they haven't actually started using the fully FDA approved vaccine in the United States, but I can leave it at that. But it's just a weird thing. Like, oh, I had no idea. Because I'd heard it was approved. So I was kind of operating like, okay, well, I mean, it's fully FDA approved now.
Yeah, because people are just sick of it. They're over it. Like, man, fuck that.
It does seem like that little, little kind of important tidbit of information is not being advertised, like is being kind of kept under the rug a little bit. Like you got to dig a little bit if you want to know that. You're not going to like get that with drive-by news watching. And some of the theories are that, when I say that, well, it's fully FDA approved. That means there's liability now.
Yeah.
So they're waiting. Someone said they're waiting because they're going to change some regulations or rules about the liability maybe or something. So they're just like, I was thinking, well, there's probably like shitloads of the old vaccines still. And I say old and new, I don't know, but for whatever reason in the FDA's mind, these are two separate things. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how separate or how distinct they are from each other, but they could be. I mean, they could be the same thing, but with a red label instead of a blue label. I have no idea, but Just kind of a weird little fact. I don't know.
Don't take the red one, man. You'll wake up from the Matrix.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do red and blue.
Look, we don't know. Some of us don't know what's in the vaccine, but some of us, like you, Chris, I don't know what you use on your face to keep your face looking so young, but you
Lots
don't.
of jizz.
Right? What do you? I don't know. What do you use, Chris? I have a question for you because we've had a couple of comments and questions from our listeners. They want to know what you use on your skin to keep it so fine and young.
Wow.
Heels.
Yeah. Eels.
Keels.
Heels.
Keels.
Oh, keels. I thought Kegels.
Kiehls.
Keels.
I don't know. They got like shops at the airport now in some airports.
Really?
Nice airports, yeah.
Okay.
They have shops at the mall, I think. I got it as a gift many years ago. And it kind of got me hooked. I was like, oh, this is pretty nice.
Keels. At first I thought you said heels, like, oh, Chris is one of those guys that has women stand on him with their heels.
Mm-hmm.
No, that'd be me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But no, it's like one of those fetishes.
That'd be Manny and his nutsack.
No, that's the only hard no.
It's his nutsack beautification routine. No, Keels, I think most famously known for the scene in Step Brothers when Adam Scott, thus, Dale's brother. No, is it? Whichever one. Whatever. His brother. And he's like, I scrubbed in the shower. And that's the scene where he lifts up his shirt, but I don't think it's Adam Scott. And he's like, I scrub these abs every morning with Keels. And he says Keels for some reason.
Because it got a fat payday from it, man.
Well, then I was like, man, but he's the douchebag of the show. So I was like, I use Keels.
That means you're a douchebag.
I know.
Where's your six-pack at?
Oh, well, just commit to it.
Okay, well,
fake.
All I'm saying, we don't know what's in those Keels. We don't know what's in the vaccine. We don't know.
We do know what's in the. We do know what's in the vaccine. I mean, it's pretty like.
Yeah, microchips.
More jizz.
It is different. Yeah, bat jizz.
Sriracha.
Guaranteed. Every
We're
vaccine.
We're gonna get this fucking episode pulled for all this bullshit we're talking.
Oh yeah, you gotta be careful joking. That's right. I was about to say it's like bad ejaculate, but
we're gonna get banned.
Yeah.
Hey, let's move on.
It is some pretty crazy stuff. Like if you really, what's really fascinating is like the whole gain of function people and what they were trying to do. Like, so they weren't just like doing gain of function just like to see if they were like what they were really trying to do, and they were like trying to like give these bats and caves, and I'm like, to me, it's like I don't really think it's that outrageous that they were trying to do these things because they were. I mean, I think they're doing them for good reasons to try to get ahead of things. That's all, And yeah, they're all trying to get famous or get, make a living too with these studies and grants and all that. But yeah, they're like trying to spray these bats and they're trying to like figure out a way to like, I don't know. It's really far out. And it's just in their own literature, like what they were trying to do, like what their plan was. Cause it's not like to give us a check and we're going to like, we'll let you know. We'll let you know what we got at the end. They like have to spell out like what they're going to try to do and why.
Exactly.
Like, why they think it's going to be good. It's pretty crazy. So I think it's kind of fascinating. I'm not mad at them. It's like, but I don't know. Fucking bats. You know what I mean? Bats.
Oh man.
I didn't know you hated bats so much, but all right.
Oh, okay. I have a question for Manny. Manny just saw an anime, and I was interested in what he had to say about.
Yeah. Maybe we'll. You had some thought. You had some strong thoughts. Have you mellowed out in the last 90 minutes or however long we've been yapping?
Yeah, I've mellowed out some. So before I begin, let me just preface this by saying there's like levels of trash when it comes to like what type of show you want to watch. I guess I dove headfirst into like the most fiery of dumpster fires of shows.
What do you mean by that? So like there's like, if you wanted to watch a comedy, you could watch like
yeah,
something TV Ma. You could watch like some cheesy show on
exactly.
rerun. Okay. So you got into a certain level of anime show.
Yeah,
Dumpster
dude.
Fire.
Yeah, man. It's called Domestic Girlfriend. It should have been called Domestic Dumpster Fire because this shit. So it's a take on a tried and true trope, the love triangle trope. The main character, he hooks up with his classmate. They get invited to a karaoke outing with a bunch of other classmates. And what is it, Rui, the chick? She talks to the dude, is like, "Hey, let's get out of here." And they go back to her place. They end up fucking. It's a little awkward because they're still students. By the end of the episode, by the end of the episode, you the viewer come to find out that their parents end up getting married, so now they're step siblings.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's not the end of it. There's an older sister that's a teacher at their school, and she's the other individual in this fucked up love triangle. By the end of the show, what is it, Hina, the teacher, she ends up getting found out by the school, because they're at a school field trip, and her and the main character, they're off in the distance. They're in the hotel hooking up. And because they're on a class field trip, there's a photographer taking photos of all the students on the beach and whatnot, and they just happen to catch the action in the background. So here's the thing about the show that kind of irked me. It's just like, all right, the school finds out, they dismiss the teacher. She gets transferred to another school. She keeps her job, but she's just like, keep this on the hush, but you can still, go on, be a teacher and make questionable decisions at some other place. Not here though.
Now is this the first time you've gone to Pornhub anime section to
no.
This title?
This was on a legit, this was on a streaming site. It's not like it was, this is just like one of those weird drama shows. And normally
says taboo anime.
Yeah, it was.
Oh yes, he does.
Dude, what is wrong with these characters? Instead of just everyone coming to the senses, no, we're just gonna dig deeper into this pile of shit that we're in. And normally, in these types of shows, or normally in anime, the siblings never get along. In this one, they did. And they're fucking around the same dude, and they're okay with it. It's what is going on? So
I'm realizing how boring Speed Racer was.
You know what I mean? I'm just gonna watch some Family Guy porno like I usually do. Yeah.
Peter, I'm holding Hooters. So yeah, dude, it just left me thoroughly flummoxed, and I was just like, what the fuck, bro? And I'm sure your question is why did I keep on watching this fucking train wreck? Because just
we've all been pot committed to a terrible television show before.
Yeah. So, but after I was done with it, I was like, I'm gonna slow it down with the trash watch as far as I'm concerned, because that just left me thoroughly disturbed. I was like, I don't know what's going on over there with that culture. That I was just like, yeah, step sibling fucking is where it's at.
Well, it's so I don't know, anime to me, is still kind of is foreign to me. So it's so fantastical, I guess, that you're not really bound by, I don't know, reality, normal social mores, or are they? Or is that just me? That's just me.
I mean, there were the characters, they would talk. It's yo, if we keep on going down this route, we'll be ostracized by our friends and family. No one's gonna accept this. What the fuck? What are we doing? So even then, they realize what they're doing is fucked up, but they still go on with it. It's just why?
They had that, but they do have that classic for all shows is where children or kids have adult conversations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Never really watched Dawson's Creek, but these are supposed to be 15, 16-year-olds, but they're having adult philosophical conversations. All right.
There used to be a TV series on, I think, Nickelodeon, and it was called 15. Do you guys remember that?
Never heard of it.
15.
No.
Yeah, and it was high school kids, and it was the pre 90210. And yeah, it's oh, I can't believe he asked her to the prom and he was gonna ask me, and I'm like, I don't care. Like, I want to watch something else. I don't know why I changed the channel.
You want to see some step siblings hooking up and make questionable life choices, isn't that right? Fuck, dude. So
okay, well, next time watch a better anime porn.
I'm on it, man.
Yeah.
Well, what's everybody in chat say? Is there anybody else that's been fighting out there? What like I said, I was trying not to. Anybody else fighting that we need to talk about?
No fighting. Monkey's uncle did say that Chris, you use adrenochrome. So I was gonna mention that, but I didn't want to be accused of being like one of those Q guys.
The who?
It's like
adrenochrome.
What's
that?
It's like
kids' blood or something.
Yeah, it's like baby juice or something. It's like baby broth.
You scare them, and then it's that like energy that comes.
Oh, the good stuff. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, he gets it. He's subscribed to the club, like the monthly club.
Yeah.
The adrenochrome comes in a little vial.
Yeah, they keep it next to the purple stuff in the fridge.
Yeah. Hey, look, I don't want to be like Mr. Q, but it's been all over Hollywood, like the movies for years. I can't think of the earliest one, but if you guys have seen what's that, a Dr. Sleep, they do that in Dr. Sleep.
I know, that's what tripped me out about that movie.
Yeah.
Hold on, that's a movie, Dr. Sleep?
Yeah,
that Dr. Sleep son of a bitch that came on Adam Carolla's show a couple years ago had me all fucked up.
No, not that guy.
That dude had me convinced I could get by with like 3 hours of sleep a night.
He lied to you, brother.
Well, it was going good for like 6 months, and I realized I was like psychotic.
Yeah, you're driving to work in your pajamas.
I mean? Yeah, like my reality had been altered from sleep deprivation.
Yeah, you were getting home to a different wife.
But I thought, I had a good run there. I thought it was working.
Freaking Kramer over
like
here,
sleeping from like 3 to 6 every night, getting all kinds of shit done.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
No. Anyways, yeah. Dr. Sleep. That's the sequel to The Shining.
Yeah,
with Ewan McGregor. Good movie. It's just they do that stuff with the blood.
A sequel to The Shining.
Yeah.
Man.
Remember what's his name? Not Jack. Danny. Danny Torrance is. He's an older. He's Ewan McGregor. And that's Dr. Sleep. He still has these weird. He's got the shining power or whatever. And then there's another part of the movie where there's astral projection, which again, I know it sounds weird, but I believe in some weird stuff sometimes. And I believe there's some people, this world is filled with weird stuff, and there's some astral projection in the movie. And I'm like, yeah, some of these people, I'm sure these Hollywood writers and whatever novelists get some of this stuff from real life. I'm not saying saying it's confirmed, but where do they get that from?
We get it. You believe in ghosts, Rob.
Kind of, yeah.
That's why you always got your spotlight on, huh? You're like,
oh
low
yeah,
key.
got my
You're just hunting the hunt.
Who's in the closet? Under my
bed.
Well,
we can wrap up the show and then we can chat a little bit more about it.
For sure. Yeah, let people know how they can reach out to us, Rob.
All right. So all you guys out there, you guys can reach out to us on Instagram. And where are we at? Instagram at Endless Ranters Podcast. Instagram. Right, check us out. Check us out. I just posted a meme today. It's a Neil Young meme. Hopefully you guys like it. It's sarcastic. I like to have fun.
Rip from the headlines.
Give it a like. Endless Ranters Podcast on Instagram. Facebook, if you want to join our group, we have conversations. We share articles, funny stuff, funny memes, and we just have fun throughout the week. Just look and search for the Endless Ranters Podcast on Facebook. Also, Twitter, check us out at Endless Ranters on Twitter. Check out Chris on Twitter if you want to kind of go back and forth and have some fun on Twitter. He is at Grateful Red 1. So Grateful RED, the number 1 on Twitter. And if you want to check out Mole Man Manny, How We Figure, Instagram, Twitter, How We Figure, and check out the podcast. If you want to check me out, just Robbie Spotlight on pretty much every social media app. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and what is it called? The Snapchat and all that good stuff. Check me out. But I'm always on.
Get him.
I'm always on Instagram. I like to share memes. So check us out. Let's have fun. And hopefully, if you guys want to be on the show one of these days, let me know. Or if you have anybody interesting to be on, hit me up. Hit us up.
Yeah, we are. I think we're kind of getting to a groove here where we're kind of getting consistent on our days or Wednesdays now. So we're trying to get some guests in here and spice things up a little bit. We really appreciate it. Appreciate everybody listening. Appreciate everybody in the comment section weighing in, chatting. We'll cover some of those after the show, but really appreciate it. So if you guys are good, I'll just wrap it up. All right. This is Chris saying, get it on.
This is Rob. Get it on.
Get it on, everybody.
Okay.
Take a bow wow.
Oh, the day after. So Monkey's Uncle. Yeah, I was scanning back through here to see if I was.
That's a great movie. Very depressing, though.
The day after 80. Okay, so that was a movie.
Gutenberg.
That is a movie that I was not allowed to see. And really? I remember that shit. They were like.
And for good reason, too, man. Fuck that movie.
I'm pretty sure by this time I had seen that Nightline special several times because everything wasn't like there wasn't like a brand new Nightline every night. They would show that nuclear war special and they would show the pictures of like the test sites with like buildings getting blown away and like mannequins being blown away in fire.
Yeah.
Damn, that shit scared me. I was like real under the surface worried about that as a kid, but I didn't tell anybody.
Sweating bullets.
And tell anybody. It's probably like they're going to catch on to my watching TV late at night game.
I can't squeal on myself.
Right.
Okay. So look,
dealt with the trauma.
One of the 80s movies that I liked, but it's super obscure and it's bad. It's a bad movie, but I remember watching it when I was like 7. Yeah, you guys ever watched this movie called Laser Blast?
Nope.
Monkey's Uncle? Anybody? It's a B movie. It's this this UFO lands in some Arizona desert or whatever. This guy who's like dirt bike riding sees it crash, gets close to the ship, and then there's like this dead alien or whatever. He gets his weapon. It reminds me of like the Green Lantern kind of. So he gets his weapon and it locks on his arm. So then the more he wears that weapon, and it's like it shoots a laser, the more he wears it, the more he's starting to change into like alien. And he gets madder and greener, and it changes.
It reminds me of Lord of the Rings.
Oh, a little bit, but it's Laser Blast. It's it's not a good movie, but it's one I remember from when I was like 7, 8.
For sure.
Yeah, it didn't really scare me.
Someone had to make a movie called Laser Blast, but
Laser Blast.
It's like it was never going to be good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah. What a great.
I think there was a movie that I saw when I was a kid. My dad told me it was like Space Ranger. It's like that should have been a great movie, but it wasn't. I think it was.
That sounds like the Wish version of
really bad
Star Wars or Star Trek.
It was really bad.
Yo, I'm gonna bounce out. I'm fucking hungry, so I'm gonna make something to eat.
Yeah, we'll call it close in a few minutes.
All right,
just going through. All right, later, buddy.
Take it easy, guys.
All right, see you, man. All right, whoever's still on YouTube.
I was just looking at okay.
We're fast approaching 100 episodes, so I'm gonna try and get someone big for 100, but we're getting close to there. Yeah, we got to do this. I've reached out to a couple people here and there. I did reach out to Joe Rogan about a week ago, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah,
I did.
Like, hey man, if things don't work out at Spotify.
Now this was before this.
You got a safe place to land here with us.
Space Hunter with Molly Ringwald. Interesting.
Space Hunter. Yeah, was that? Yeah.
Molly Ringwald. There's a few movies I haven't seen. What is it? The Lady Lackeys were just talking about it a couple of days ago. What's that? The Time Traveler movie. It was Terry Gilliam movie. Never seen it, and it's like these little people, like the Time Travelers or something. I gotta watch it. I hear it's supposed to be good. Adventures Across the Sixth Dimension. Haven't seen that.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, I gotta. A lot of these movies might be on Tubi, and I swear I like Tubi. Yeah, be frank. Yeah, Lynette, we got to do this. She wants to be on, so for sure.
That'd be great.
Not for sure, but for sure. Time Bandits. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I gotta. Have you seen Time Bandits, Chris? I've heard
probably.
Yeah,
but
is it okay?
Probably when it first came out, that's a lot. It's pretty old, I think.
Guys, is it more of a family movie? Yeah. Movie subtitle. That's the Molly Ringwald movie subtitle. One of my best movies from when I was a kid is what is it? Never Ending Story. I liked all that stuff.
I don't think I've seen Never Ending Story.
No, I like it. Obviously, you're too old now, and your kids will probably think the Jim Henson puppets suck also.
I think that was out when I was a kid. I think that was like, I don't know. Maybe it was like my little stepbrother's age. I don't know.
Yeah.
Didn't watch it. Space Hunter Adventures that sounds about right. It was really bad.
I think about the budget of these space movies from the 80s. Yeah, you don't want to, if you're going to do a sci-fi movie, you got to have a decent budget.
A lot of them had to do it in the desert. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you figure whether it's year 1977 or year 3087, the desert's still gonna be the same. The rocks are still gonna be the same.
Flight of the Navigator. Yeah, I remember that one. He gets on that super silver spaceship and he flies across the galaxy and I don't know.
Flight of the Navigator?
Yeah.
Isn't that the one where they crash and they have to there's a movie, there's a couple movies, an old one, and then there was a remake of a movie where they crash in the desert and they have to put the plane back together. And they have to put the plane back together and fly out of the desert.
Shoot, that sounds familiar.
I thought that was Flight of the Navigator.
Oh, Monkey's Uncle. Night of the Comet. Hell yeah, man. I just saw that one 2 weeks ago on Tubi, where it's the comet, right? It's New Year's Eve, right? There's a comet that flies across, the sky. Whoever's out there looking at the comet turns into either dust or a zombie.
I've never seen that. Okay, I've never seen Flight of the Navigator then.
Flight of the Navigator. Good.
That should be on Disney Plus, maybe. It says 1986 Disney.
Yeah, Disney. Yeah, he befriends this little alien guy in the ship. Good movie. I'm not even kidding. I was looking him up or the movie on YouTube, and I think he does these the kid that he's obviously an adult now. He does these Comic-Con, movie festivals, and I don't know. I think he's doing well now. I think he got into some stuff later on and stuff. But yeah, that's Flight of the Phoenix, Chris. You're thinking of Flight of the Phoenix.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, so many titles that are flying at us here. I'm like,
Flight of the Phoenix. Jimmy Stewart, right? Monkey's uncle, and then Matthew McConaughey is the new version.
I think I remember Flight of the Navigator from when I was a kid. Maybe seeing that in the theaters. Yeah, that looks familiar.
And actually, it has a little similarity to the Marvel Endgame. Endgame, they come back. Whoever was in the snap, and they come back 5 years later. It's like everybody's older, 5 years older, and they're. It's like as if they just came back. Well, Flight of the Navigator, he comes back. He's still a kid, and his little brother's already like an adult. You guys remember? Be frank, I've not seen The Last Starfighter, but I want to.
I love that movie. I saw that in theaters multiple times.
I got it. Yeah, it's one of those I got to watch.
I had a weird thing, realization a couple months ago because my kids were super into Jungle Book. Enemy Mine's a really good one too. Dennis Quaid and Lou Gossett Jr. Yeah, that's a good movie. And I was telling my mom that kids are in the Jungle Book, just like I was obsessed with that movie when I was a kid because I remember being obsessed with it. She was like, "You were?" Yeah, I was like, "I used to watch all the time." She was like, "You did? How?" Because there was no VHS of it, when I was a kid, like you saw in the theaters, Jungle Book, the original Disney. I don't know, like I was obsessed with that movie. But I think like I only saw it like a couple times, maybe. In my early childhood, I saw that movie a couple times, and it made that big of an impression on me that I thought I had seen it, hundreds of times. I don't know what I thought. Anyway, Last Starfighter was great. What was that guy's name? Jason something.
Yeah, it's one of those I gotta watch.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Iron Eagle.
Oh,
somebody tell me you've seen Iron Eagle, where the teenagers take the F-16s and defeat Iran or something.
Isn't Louis Gossett Jr. in that one as well?
He is, yeah, that's right. He's Cappy.
Yeah.
I'm like channeling Adam Carolla, like because I saw that movie a lot, Iron Eagle. Because I was like, yeah, I wish my dad was in the Air Force, because then he would get shot down in Iran, and then I would get trained on F-16 real quick. In the matter of like a month, I would convince my dad's friend to train me on how to steal an F-16 fighter, and then I would go fly it to Iran to save my dad. I think that's how that movie went down.
Well, what about that where the North Koreans, what's that movie? The Red Dawn. There you go. Was it North Koreans or China?
The first Red Dawn were the Russians.
Red Dawn. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the second one, they replaced them with Asians.
Yeah. Yeah, Firefox. There you go.
Oh, Firefox is a good one too.
What about the video game? Yeah.
I wonder if I'm
good 80s.
Firefox was Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, right.
There's a Clint Eastwood movie where he has to go to Russia and steal like some jet because it's so dangerous to the world, and bring it back to the United States. It's funny because we watch those movies where, like that movie, we were the good guys. We were going there and stealing a jet, like stealing technology from them.
Mm-hmm.
And in today's, it's like we're like all like paranoid all the time because like these evil somebody could come and steal our technology. It's like, I don't know. That was a pretty good movie back then. That was like a classic 80s movie.
You know what movie they should do again with especially with the Canadian truckers?
BJ and
Over the Top.
Oh yeah, we talked about that movie before. Blue Thunder, that was a good movie. I think they made a TV show out of that too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of helicopter. Those two helicopter-based shows. There was Blue Thunder and Airwolf.
Oh, man. Yeah, with the eye patch guy.
I preferred Airwolf with Jan Michael Vincent. I was in War Games, great movie. Oh yeah, a lot of 80s movies about kids doing pretty ridiculous things. I mean, I guess the kids, like the movies, they're still the same, but like there's a high schooler took over the NORAD defense system from his Commodore 64 computer at home. And then, yeah, that was pretty far-fetched, but great movie.
Isn't it Blue Thunder? Remember that TV series with Hulk Hogan in Florida, and he had a boat, a fast boat.
Oh,
it was a Hulk Hogan TV series.
Sounds like, was it Thunder and Lightning? Or I was going to say Tropic Thunder. That's the movie.
All right, I'm going to get it for you right now. It is called Thunder in Paradise. Thunder in Paradise.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it was TV series. Yep. Oh, shoot. Who was the? Carol Alt was there. Hey. Hey. What up, Carol Alt? Back from 25 years ago, 30 years ago. Yeah. Okay.
He's wrong. Enemy of Mine. Yeah, Firefox, Blue Thunder, War Games. I saw the War Games in the theaters.
Hogan Knows Best. That's a TV series.
I did watch that reality series. I did watch that.
Yeah, I do.
I don't know why. I don't know why I did.
I watched it too.
Or, I mean, and you say that it might have just been you watched VH1 for a Sunday. when they just ran.
Yeah.
They just ran like, you know, 2 seasons, 3 seasons of his show, you know, every episode back to back.
Yeah, back when his daughter was, I don't know if she's still singing.
Yeah, that was uncomfortable. Yeah, that wasn't a good show.
No.
Was his daughter really hot?
Yeah, she was pretty.
Okay.
She was tall,
But she wanted to be a singer.
yeah, curvy.
His son wanted to be a rapper. He
Yeah.
was calling himself Grandmaster B.
Oh.
Just
Didn't
kidding.
he?
That's Married with Children. It's Bud.
Oh, was it Bud? Didn't he eventually kill someone?
Yeah, he was into drifting.
Yeah.
Right. I remember a few episodes where he was like, you know, yeah, drifting. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he killed somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, that sucks. I would say.
Okay. Last question. Has anybody seen a show on Netflix called Midnight Mass?
Ooh, yes,
I just
dude.
finished it. I just finished it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
It was good. I think we marathoned it like one night, I think.
Yeah.
Something.
Well, it's only 7 or 8 episodes, I think.
Yeah.
7 episodes, maybe. It's a great story. It's really good.
It was. It's a little weird. It's on the horror side, religious horror kind of.
It's about at my limit of horror movies. Right.
Yeah.
It's gonna have to, like, I really liked the show because it had that religious part to it. It's essentially a vampire show, I think.
Yeah.
Although they refer to it as an angel.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's a vampire show.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a great show. Yeah, I'd recommend it.
I liked it a lot for sure. And I'm looking forward to what's that? The guy from Hogan's I forget his name. Whatever. The brother of the one actress from the Family Ties. Whatever.
The brother?
Yeah, what's his name?
Oh, Alex P. Keaton, Michael J. Fox.
Yeah. What's his sister's name? But in real life, Josephine something.
Oh, shoot.
It's late.
I'm drawing a blank too, but yeah, she was. Oh, yeah, man. I really
Ozark.
Really appreciated her.
Yeah, she was cute. Ozark is back. I think it's already past their mid season, the new season or something.
Yeah, season 4, part 1 came out.
Mhm.
The 8 episodes already finished that.
Did you finished it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I gotta watch it.
It's good. I mean, it's as good as it's been. You know,
isn't it like another kind of? It's as if it's like another Breaking Bad, kind of.
I think
Maybe
it
not as
has.
good,
I
but-
think you could not. I don't know if it's as good as that. I think it's a fair
Jason
comparison. It's a fair comparison, I think, because it does kind of suck you in like that, and you're just like stressed out all the time.
Yeah.
It's a very stressful show.
Remember,
You're just watching it,
like
you're just like, how are they going to get out of this? How are they going to get
Justine
out of this?
Bateman. Yeah. Remember
There
the
you
first
go.
or second? Justine Bateman. Remember the first or second episode of the entire series, and the wife, I guess, wasn't she having like an affair or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and the guy, I don't know if he got thrown or killed himself or thrown out off a balcony, and then he said, "I'm glad he's dead" or something to her. I don't know, but I'm like, ooh, like it was like a little soap opera to me.
It's a good show. I like it a lot. You know what? It's weird. I wasn't really expecting season 4 because I kept seeing, these like phony ads and things on the internet.
Yes,
that
I know.
it was canceled. Like I thought it was just canceled. I thought, well, that was the end.
Yeah.
Like, okay. And I was fine. I moved on. So it was like, so I'm kind of looking at this season as just bonus material.
Yeah. These phony ads are not going to fool me. I already got fooled by those. There's horny hot females in your area or something, and I clicked like a whole bunch of times, and there were not horny lonely ladies in my area.
Yeah.
So I know it's
fool me once, shame on me. Fool me, and get a credit card issue in your name and run it up to the max. Shame on me.
Mm-hmm.
That's how this saying goes.
You know the thing.
You know the thing.
One guy's Bush and the other guy's Biden.
Does anybody even care about him anymore?
Bush? No.
No, Biden.
Oh, no, probably not. I saw a video where his wife was kind of walking him,
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Like,
no, I don't really. That kind of. Yeah, it's not good optics, but
no.
This whole optic shit is like. But yeah, that's rough. But corn pop. So hold on. So earlier you were trying to get to Ozark by. This is how Rob's memory works. Rob's memory is like an old TV guide. So you started to get to Ozark. You were thinking about Family Ties, Justine Bateman, to Jason Bateman, boop, boop, boop. Trying to get there. Okay.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure it out. Good stuff.
Yeah. Hogan, and I said Hogan. Remember Sandy Duncan? He was on the show with Sandy Duncan, but I don't know his name. The Hogan's Family or something. Hogan's knows.
Oh yeah, Hogan.
Yeah.
What was that? What was the show? Did they change the name of that show? Is that where Sandy Duncan replaced the first mom?
Yeah, Rhoda or something.
Yeah, she was an actress that played Rhoda, right? But I don't remember her name. Anyway, it's just like they just did it, changed the characters and moved on. I don't know why they feel like they can't do that anymore.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Look, I don't like. I like to be fooled. I like it. I think I've said this before. I like immersion. Immerse myself. So like the living room. I like my sound system. I like my little in the back, leaves behind me. So I don't want to see like an actor like change mid-season or like because I'm like, wait a minute, that's not War Machine from Marvel, or that's not so and so. That's you can't fool me. You take me off the thing. It's not I don't like that. So I don't like them changing people.
Valerie Harper. There you go. Hogan's Heroes was a great show. That was
I know nothing.
I watched reruns of that religiously when I was a kid. It was just whatever, like Gilligan's Island, Hogan's Heroes. Those were on the UHF channel 45. At 3 o'clock or 3:30, 4 o'clock every day. When I get home from school.
Well, what about this? All the older people, because remember Poltergeist? I never lived through this, but once it was like midnight and there's no more TV shows. Did they play like the national anthem right after the static? Remember that?
Absolutely. They used to
Really?
Channels would sign off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, channels would sign off with the national anthem. Yeah.
Shoot. Speaking of propaganda. Okay, I was too young for all that stuff.
Yeah, it's just like, what else was there? They probably didn't have, like nowadays you have libraries of like stock music you can use, whatever. Just like, well, we can use this whatever we want. Yeah, they used to do that. I don't know. A lot of things got done because people thought they had to. Like in reality, they could have just turned it off. The clock strikes 2 or midnight. They just shut down. They don't have to play anything. But yeah, they did play like a patriotic sign-off song.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a flag waving. I think Adam Carolla's talked about like they would have like jets flying or something. I remember that one.
He does have that story about waking up in the middle of the night with that guy hearing some guy go, but it was, remember when the power went off and then the TV turned on by itself, and it was actually a preacher, one of those late night preachers, but he got kind of creeped out because he's like, who's screaming in the living room? Yeah. I love that story. The way he tells it.
That'd be pretty creepy.
Yeah. I think
I was sitting here in my apartment the other day, and all of a sudden my Alexa Dot just started reading a fucking book.
Ooh. Interesting.
and I think it just heard my TV say something.
Yeah.
Or I was like, what's going on here? And I obviously had no idea, but it was like reading a couple paragraphs. And eventually I told it to stop. And then I was like, Alexa, what were you just reading? And she wouldn't answer. Like that got no, it was like no answer.
Yeah.
Like it was one of these, get the response where it's like, I don't know that title. I'm like, no, what were you just reading? Yeah. So I shouted at Alexa a couple times. I was like, no, I said, what did you just read to me? I don't know that title. Yeah, it was really weird.
All right, guys. I gotta start.
Me too.
Out. Yeah.
Thanks everybody. Thanks for hanging in for us for so long.
You guys are awesome.
Because the some spam people now or
Be Frank, Monkey's Uncle, Quana, Bruin Backhand, Celeste, she's online right now. Who else? Everybody. Mindy's
shout out to those two random Indian dudes.
Oh, really?
From Mumbai that keep applying to our Facebook group.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I don't know what they.
No,
no. I just said like that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. All right. We'll talk later, and then hit us up.
All right, bye. Take care.
Take care.